What up, though? It's your man's DJ King. You're here for another episode of Seat at the Throne. I got my man's DJ Los in this motherfucker. What's going on, my guy? Hold on, man. Y'all gotta understand, my guy DJ Los, he a legend, man. He a real legend. I'm honored to have you here on the show, bro.
Likewise.
I really, really am, man. You talking likewise, like, no, you the legend, like, bro. I'm doing my thing, but like, you the man, bro. Like, geez, Louise. Like, I don't even know where to start or begin. But like, first, thanks and welcome, to my show, bro. And
Thank you for having me.
outside that, what's going on? What's new with you, man?
Not much, man. Just loving this hip hop. Just got done with a big show celebrating 50 years of hip hop at the Fox. With all the legends like KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick, EPMD, Dougie Fresh. You know what I'm saying? As well as the legends that came from Detroit, Awesome Dre, and Dice, Detroit's Most Wanted. It's a bunch of people. It's like 19 artists from Detroit that I did a medley with. So I'm
Really?
still on high from that.
Really? And that was one of the things I wanted to holler at you about, but you broke it out already. Yeah, so, man, so it was at the Fox Theater, right?
Yep.
I'm mad I, missed the performance. I believe I was out of town, but just like, man. And wasn't you honored there too? Like, he being modest.
I was one of the honorees. What they did, the promoters of the show, they wanted to honor 50 contributors to Detroit hip hop in the theme of the 50 years of hip hop. So I was one of 50 people who were acknowledged as strong contributors to Detroit hip hop.
Okay. And you definitely are. You definitely are. Like,
Thank you.
like I said, ever since I met you, like, you've been nothing but cool, kind words, and knowledgeable, and quick to, share game. And, oh yeah, by the way, let me interject with this real quick side note. You are my first DJ on my show.
That's what's up.
You are the first DJ on the show. I know Detroit real big on, being
Toda,
first and
thank
everything.
you in Hebrew.
Yeah. Hold on, say that again.
Toda.
Toda in Hebrew. I like that.
Toda means thank you in Hebrew.
Okay, word, yeah. Y'all make sure y'all, get hip. But, yeah, word. So, man, being honored, at the, so it's the 50 years of hip hop legends of Detroit. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Contributors.
People
like to use legends.
And you was one of the honorees. Okay. So, well, you making this too easy. So, all right. So, what else have you been into? Like, because one thing I want to ask, I kind of want to say that a little bit about the, MPCs. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
But, are you working on any new projects? Right now?
Definitely.
Okay.
That show that I did with you, with Miss Corona, where we at Club Echelon.
Yeah, word.
And Razcast was on that show.
Word.
And Raz heard me scratch. I had already met Raz at Proof Day. He came to the hip hop shop one year, so we already had a rapport. But he heard me cut on your equipment that day, and he was like, "Los, I need you to be a part of what I'm doing, man." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What?" I said, "Raz, you my favorite rapper, bro.
Get the fuck out of here, seriously."
I love Razcast, man. You know what I'm saying? That dude is spiritual in nature, and he got bars. He really underrated. You know what I'm saying? But he has substance when he rap. So.
You good, bro. You good.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. So I got a bunch of projects that I'm working on with him. He's got me on a project with Chuck D from Public Enemy, RJ Payne. It's so many things. He's got several projects that he's working on. I'm cutting on all of those, as well as producing a couple of tracks for him. So that all stemmed from that show.
Shit, all from that show. And you see how geeked I was? Like, that's how much of a legend he is, because technically, somebody cutting up on my turntables better than me and getting
I don't know about
No. Man, that's a blessing to me still. Like, bro, I am honored, bro.
Bro.
Cutting up on my turntables harder than I am where somebody else, like, that's what's up, bro. But yeah, like, y'all really, if y'all not familiar with DJ Los, all DJs in my generation and younger, please get hip, get familiar. Because, shit, not just he a legend, he was telling me, you know, about your father. You know, he's been in the game. Like,
Yeah.
All right, so what part you was telling me about that more bounce to ounce, Zapp and Roger?
So
I gotta hear this.
So always, when I do interviews, I always talk about my dad. That's my hero.
Okay, that's what's up. Shout out to real men out here, real fathers.
That's right. It would be
we
no
out
DJ
here
Los.
for real strong, not no very few. But go ahead.
Physically, there will be no DJ Los, but entertainment-wise, there will be no DJ Los because my dad is the one who named me DJ Los. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who bought my turntables. You know, he cultivated my interest in hip hop. He saw me trying to do something, and he bought me some real equipment. You know what I'm saying? Because he saw me trying to do something on some Fisher Price like style little turntable. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Don't you need some real equipment?" I'm like, "Of course, Dad." You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got no money for that. You know what I'm saying? I was like 14 years old, whatever.
Okay.
He said, "I'm gonna take you to this place called Wonderland Music here in Detroit."
I'm familiar with Wonderland.
Actually, it was in Dearborn at the time.
I'm familiar with that.
And he bought me my first.
I went to go look for my first speakers there.
Really?
It was too expensive though.
Yeah, the owner of the store was named Crazy Clarence. And he took me up to see Clarence. He had commercials going on TV. Crazy Clarence, his prices are insane. And you know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
And so I met him, and he bought me my first Technic 1200 turntable and a Newmark mixer and a PV amplifier, a guitar amp, so that I could play the music through like a speaker. And
so you was carrying crates around?
Huh?
You was carrying crates around?
Yeah, definitely. With my boy DJ Maestro. Me and Maestro, he
Shout out to
was
DJ Maestro. Hold up.
Yeah.
I got a couple DJ Maestro mixes. I was wondering where that shit came from. I swear to God. You know, I ain't gonna say how I got them, but you know, in my large library, I seen some DJ Maestro.
The Maestro I'm referring to is Maestro from Chaos and Maestro. They had a rap group from Detroit back in like '89.
Okay.
And they were signed to my dad's record label. But Maestro was a real prominent DJ here in Detroit. And I used to run with him. And he showed me the ropes as far as rocking parties and, you know what I'm saying?
89.
And showing me how to break the moves down. Like, okay, you got to break it down right here so they can social and do the slow dance. You got to play all the Keith Sweat and all the slow, ballad type music.
I missed that, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about. That formula is gone. So it's like, yeah. All right, so you start off the party, the intro, intro music, get that hype.
Yep.
Then, you might come with your bangers, like, so in my days, let's see, 2004 to 2008,
okay.
Lil Jon and all that, so I was in college and all that, that era, Usher, like all that, Confessions album bang and all that.
Yeah.
Point is, at the end of the night, you playing the slow jams, to get you in the groove. So point is, you got to know the different sections.
Get their so-called nightcaps or whatever, get their numbers from the girls, you know what I'm saying? So he taught me all of that. So we definitely used to carry the crates. I went through the crate era where that's probably where my back be hurting now, you know what I'm saying? Carrying all them record crates and big giant speakers. Yeah, man. He taught me all of that. So shout out to DJ Maestro, aka Jason Wilson. He owns the Cave of Adullam, and he teaches young children how to do martial arts and turn anger into, the martial art aspect. Change it, into a positive thing. You know what I'm saying? People
emotional intelligence.
Yeah,
that's the word of the day. Emotional intelligence or praise. Yeah.
He's an author also. He's real tight with Larry Fishburne. Morpheus from the Matrix.
Okay, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? But that's my homie. He's from Detroit as well.
Okay. Some more about your pops, bro.
Okay, so back to my dad.
Yeah. Word. The hero.
So my dad is the legendary percussionist Carl Butch Small.
Y'all gotta hear this part. Go ahead.
He played percussion for Parliament Funkadelic, Dramatics, Al Hudson in One Way. Ah, man, who else? I'm trying to think of the eras. A lot of people from the early era. Michael Henderson, Roger Troutman, and Zapp. Just a bunch of people from that era, and then from that point, he started doing a hip hop. Well, actually, he put my first record out called Untouchable when I was 15 years old with my partner Easy B. So we had the first full-length rap album from Detroit. That's what we're credited with, and it was on World One Records, which is my dad's and my two uncles' record labels, Gene David and John Maxey. Rest in peace. That was my manager.
Okay.
So they put out Easy B and DJ Los Untouchable. That was 1988. And then during that period where our album was out, he got a call from Dr. Dre. Shout out to T Money Green, bass player for Dr. Dre, and Warren G. That was my dad's good friend. And they had himself and Dr. Dre had a discussion about the sounds that were in Parliament Funkadelic's music. And Dre was like, well, what is that sound right there, Tony? You know, you said you worked with George Clinton back in the day. What is that? He said, oh man, that's my partner. That's Butch. That's Carl Butch Small. You know, he played percussion. That's my homie. He said, man, can you get him? He said, yeah, let's call him up. We called my dad. My dad was at the studio here in Detroit, and Dre talked to him for about a good hour or so, you know, and he filled him out like, yeah, you really the guy I'm looking for, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, right. And he was like, so I'm gonna give you the number. This is Dre talking. I'm gonna give you the number to my accountant. She's going to, you know, you get with her so she can get your plane ticket so you can fly out here, you know. And my dad was like, no, I'm gonna drive to California from Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
I've done it before though, but
my dad did it so many times, man. So many times.
I've done it once.
He's a G with. He just did it like a couple of months ago. I think he went out there to work with some more Death Row cats, you know, on some music. Yeah.
Yeah, you Death Row
because we got a project that we all working on together. So, you know, all of the musicians that played on Death Row, we all put the project together, along with my dad, Barney Rubble, keyboard player. He played It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have.
He created that.
You know, the bass, keyboard bass and all this. He played on all the Death Row stuff. But him and my uncle Ricky Rouse played lead guitar.
Ricky Ross.
Yep. He played on he played on a lot of Death Row stuff. I can't remember the exact ones, but he's a famous guitarist, man. You know what I'm saying? If you look him up, you'll be like, dang, he played on that record, man. And I don't know the titles to the songs, so I don't want to mess it up. So, but all of us are coming together and putting an album together of the musicians who played on Death Row's music. You know what I'm saying?
So, and that's upcoming, like
that's
new
upcoming.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So we got that going on. But back to my dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still two parts, like the Zappa project and how he created that part. Like you gotta tell them that part.
You want that clap story,
bro. Right?
So my dad did all the Death Row stuff once he got out there with Dre and all of that. So Dre,
all of it,
everything. What would you do?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? By the Dog Pound. It's just so many Afro Puffs by Rage. You know what I'm saying? All of that. My dad is on all those records. Tupac, California Love. You know what I'm saying? If you listen close to California Love, my dad's playing the shakers and the tambourines and the whistle in the background. You hear somebody blowing a whistle, and you know what I'm saying? All of that's my dad.
You could get paid.
Yeah. So during that period of time, you know, I think he had a couple of conversations with Dre about, you know, the stuff or earlier records he played on, and Dre was like, yeah, I like those hand claps on Mo Bounce to the Ounce, you know what I'm saying? And my daddy was like, yeah, I made those, you know what I'm saying, by Roger Troutman. And he explained how he did. I always tell this story all the time. There are two 2x4s. I seen him do it when I was like 7 years old when he made them. I didn't know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? I knew my dad played with Bootsy Collins and George Clinton and all of that because I used to go to the studio all the time. But you're a little kid, you don't know the significance of what's going on. You just go into the studio, you see your dad was just making music. So my dad was in the basement here in Detroit, and he had these two 2x4s of wood, and he screwed a door hinge, like the door hinge where you open the door to a door frame. He put that in between the two 2x4s like this, so they'll open and close like that, right?
I get it.
And then he put some drawer handles on it so that he can hold on to them. You know what I'm saying? And he sits in the middle of the floor in the studio with a Neumann U87 microphone, and he has legs like this. Get
the fuck out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you listen closely, they're not human hand claps. You know, when you clap, it sounds different.
I just discovered this today.
Yeah. So and that's not all. He did that, and then I think he put a tambourine on top of it, and then they ran the clap through something called a Mutron 3, which is the effect unit that Bootsy Collins plays his bass guitar through. So it's a unique sound, you know what I'm saying, that they created back then that keeps getting sampled over and over. You know what I'm saying? I hear records today, I'll hear something, I'll be like, that's my dad hand claps again. You know what I'm saying? They sampled that. You know what I'm saying? My dad made those. Yeah, I can hear it.
That's my dad's work, bro.
Yeah, every time. You know, my friends, my close friends be like, yeah, I know, man, it's your dad. I know. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, bro, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? I had this talk with Royce the 5'9". You know what I'm saying? I was with Royce in the studio, and I said, Royce, I was listening to Eminem, his title song to the movie Venom that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. By the way,
Venom.
he's Royce the 5'9's DJ.
Yeah, I do. I DJ for my boy Royce the 5'9". Shout out to Royce, man. That's my bro.
Shout out to Royce
and his brother, Kid Vicious. Also DJ for
Royce,
him.
come through. I need you on the show. I need to interview you too.
For sure. That's my family. I got to get over there to the studio.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Shout out to Heaven Studios and everybody over there.
Word.
Yep. So, yeah, I was talking to Royce and telling him, like, man, I was listening to Eminem, the Venom song. Venom, dun, 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 Venom, whatever. It was a title song for the soundtrack to the movie that came out a couple of years ago. And I said, they sampled my dad's hand claps on there. I said, Dre made the beat for the song, because I read the credits. I said, Dre knows where them claps came from. It came from my dad, because Dre had my dad reuse them again on What Would You Do by the Dog Pound. Okay. They got a different effect on them, you know what I'm saying? It's a different sound, but it's the same hand claps. And but Dre, I told Royce about it. He's like, for real? So he called Eminem up and told him about it. He's like, yeah, I guess that, yeah. Dre did that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't create that track, you know what I'm saying? But I knew exactly how it came about, you know. So
that's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the second part. So you're talking about the claps.
Mm-hmm.
No, not like that.
Right.
Then right, the beat machine. Now this shit just as hard too. It's just like crazy.
So when my dad worked for Dr. Dre and, you know, Death Row and stuff, my dad was in control or in charge of getting the equipment fixed that got broken, or if it had a glitch in it or something. You know.
Oh, so he called, just tech, like, fixing it.
Yeah, he wouldn't fix them himself. He would be in charge of taking it to the shop.
Okay.
So it's a few times that Dre had drum machines, that he was working on, like the Detox album, and stuff would go wrong or whatever, and it don't work no more, and they put it to the side, go buy a new one. You know what I'm saying? So my dad would put stuff in the shop for them, and they would never get it out. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, forget that drum machine, we got another one now. So my dad went and got a couple of them out of the shop that used to be Dr. Dre's. So those were his gift to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, here you go, Los, you know what I'm saying? The Dog Pound used these, Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying? So I got a MPC 3000 that Dre used to use that has the case that says Dr. Dre the Chronic on it. He used it on tour when they did the Chronic tour back in the day, or the Up in Smoke tour probably. So
that's wild.
Yeah, I got 3 drum machines that Dre used to use. They were his.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, what's Pop's name, man? Go on, let's not just call him Pops or Dad. Like, what is Pop's name, bro?
My dad?
Yeah.
Carl Bush Small.
Carl Bush Small.
Yeah, look it up. You know what I'm saying? You'll see all the songs he played on. Cutie Pie by One Way, you know what I'm saying? Al Hustle in One Way. Like, a lot of these nostalgia. Yeah, Cutie Pie.
Yeah, I can't sing for sure right now. I was
he's the
paintball gun earlier.
My dad is responsible. If you listen to Cutie Pie, when it comes on, it says, psh, boom, boom, boom. That bell, that's my dad. That's called a flexotone, and he taught DJ Quick how to play it. So you heard DJ Quick. Quick says this. He said in interviews with Questlove, because Quest was saying, "Hey man, we call that the DJ Quick sound." You know what I'm saying? Because you play this noise. It's a little bell that he plays all the time, and I actually play it too now. But Quick was like, they like, we call that the DJ Quick sound, and Quick's like, nah, man, I got that from this guy named Carl Bush Small from Detroit. He showed me how to play the instrument, and he played on my song Dollars and Cents, and he blew my record up so bad, so good. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, I kept wanting that sound again, and at the time, he tells the story like, you know, I was trying to call Butch, and Butch wouldn't answer the phone, and, you know, voicemail was coming on, and, you know, like, Butch, I'm trying to get in touch with you, man. I need you to play on the records. And then when he said he finally talked to my dad told him, I can't play on your records no more. Dr. Dre said I can't play on it. But that's not, you know, I played the interview for my dad. He said, that's not what happened, Los. He said, Quick, he kind of embellished a little bit. He said, what happened was, Dre did make me exclusive, but I never talked to Quick about it. I never had a conversation with Quick. His manager, he told him, hey, Dre got him out there to play on his records. And, you know, he said he wanted to have that sound exclusive, you know, to what he was doing out there. And so I don't know if he increased my dad's pay or whatever, you know, to keep it exclusive, you know, because Dre is the one who called my dad to come out there, you know what I'm saying? But my dad played with everybody. He played on Ice Cube and West Side Connection. You know what I'm saying? He on that whole album. You know, he played on, like I said, all the DJ Quick stuff, you know what I'm saying, until Quick couldn't use him no more. And then Quick started learning how to play percussion himself and trying to emulate what my dad was doing, you know what I'm saying? But he was good at what he did. Quick is a bad boy, you know what I'm saying? But it's only one Butch though, you know what I'm saying? My daddy, you know, daddy the man with that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lit. So that's a little bit of history for y'all real quick.
Yeah.
Bro, word. I'm already concerned now, like we're not even gonna be able to get everything, like all the questions I got for you myself, let alone, you know, what other people may have for you.
For sure.
So I definitely know I'm gonna have you back on. But okay, so let's see. Have you do you like produce? Well, yeah, clearly, like you said, you got a beat machine. So, like, what songs have you produced?
I actually made beats on my first album on Untouchable when I was like 14, 15 years old. And that was my introduction into making beats, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, this is how you do it. This is
What's
cool,
your weapon of choice?
Yeah.
Like what, machines,
Nah,
PCs?
they didn't have none of that stuff back then. 808 drum machine, and an SB1200, and a Roland S50 keyboard with like 14 seconds of sampling time in it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very crude back in the day. Like now we got all this digital equipment. You could do everything. But we used to do stuff like my drum machine at the time. It had 4 seconds of sampling time, right? 4 seconds. That's all. So we, you know what I'm saying? So what we would do is when we want to sample a groove or something on a record, we would put it on 45 and speed it all the way up, the pitch all the way up, and sample it as small at the time, and then slow it down in the drum machine, take it down in the pitch.
Engineering at its finest, baby.
But the bit rate was so messed up, you would hear the ring in it. And like a producer that used to do that a lot, and you can hear it, is Easy Mo B. Easy Mo B did a lot of stuff for Craig Mack and Puffy and them back in the day. And you can listen, you can hear a ring on some of the samples. You be like, that sounds distorted. And that's what he was doing, because he was using some of the early samplers that only had a few seconds sampling time.
Okay.
So that's what I started out on. As far as the production stuff that I've done over the years, like I had a song on the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Get the fuck out of here, for real?
Yeah. A rapper by the name of
It's just me and my homie. That was my shit.
Endo Smoke?
Yeah,
that's T-Money Green. That's the guy, the guy who's playing the bass is the guy who talked to Dr. Dre to get my dad out there. T-Money Green, and my dad. They both played in the Dramatics together. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why when you look at Doggy Dog World, the video, my dad is in the video, my Uncle Tony Green, the big guy with the bass guitar, they're all in that video. You have to watch it again, and it's old now, but that's why the Dramatics are in that video, because my dad and T-Money Green are the ones who got. Ballin'. Yeah. That's Uncle Ron and Uncle Ron Banks. Yeah. I grew up when they were making all that stuff. I used to be in the studio with them.
Like, all right, so I knew he was a legend, but bro, I had no idea. Like the history, their history is extremely rich.
Yeah,
not just in hip hop, like beyond that, like old school funk and R&B type stuff. Like that's wild, bro.
Yeah. Like with me, I got out of Detroit. I'm the first person out of all of the rappers to have a record credit, because I was 7 years old and I was on a Bootsy Collins album. I don't know if you know who Bootsy is, but
man, don't.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm going way back. But I was 7 years old. We recorded in United Sound Studios here in Detroit, and Uncle Boosie had me play.
You call him Uncle Boosie.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yep,
Man,
yep.
my Uncle Boosie got some of my shit.
Oh, yeah.
He got, man.
Yep.
Bro,
Yeah, he played his whistle
classics,
called the
boy.
funk whistle. They stood me in the chair. What it was, Uncle Boosie was.
I'm riding high.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Boosie's music like that. Like they'll hear stuff like what is it? F Faces or oh no, I wanna fuck you.
Yeah.
By Easy.
Yeah.
That's Boosie's music.
Yeah, trust me, I
Easy
know,
E sample. And we want Easy. That's the original song is We Want Boosie.
Yeah.
And they sampled that from Boosie.
Yeah,
you know
that
what
song
I'm
was so
saying?
damn long that We Want Boosie, boy, that boy is.
Yeah.
I think if it's not, I think it is that one, but if it's not that one, I think it's the next track after. Point is, one of them songs went on for like 12 minutes or so.
All of that Parliament stuff. That's what they played. They made records that would last 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like,
'Cause
bro.
my dad tells me a lot of the history behind a lot of that stuff and why they did like songs like Knee Deep and One
Knee
Nation
Deep.
Under a Groove. They were dissing the genre of music called disco.
Yeah.
When disco was reigning. You know what
Man, I know
I'm saying?
disco is big. Oh, yo, you think I am, bro?
Yeah, they was dissing disco. They ain't like it. So
I appreciate it, though.
yeah, they ain't like disco. You know what I'm saying? They was like,
I feel
it's
that.
commercial. You know what I'm saying? They like, we funk.
Yeah.
We gonna do stuff funky and we gonna go against the grain. And so that's what they did when they made One Nation and what's the other one I said? Knee Deep.
Yeah.
And it was actually a
And
diss.
of course, you
to
can't forget the Q Dogs anthems, Atomic Dog.
Atomic Dog. Oh yeah,
Yeah, of
yeah. With
course,
the backwards whoop.
Yeah. Hey, it was funny because I was DJing one time, right? And my homeboy who was over there died. He was there at the party I was DJing it. And it was like kind of like an old school groove, right? And so I was turning it up. They loving the music. And so I played that. And I'm talking on the mic, getting on the mic. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, because it was like, do the dog catch it, do the dog catch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, what the fuck is the dog catch
Dog
it?
catcher. Yeah.
Now they let it slide because they was having such a good time, but I ain't even peep like, you know, I guess I was just in so in the groove, just
Yeah.
dropping the F-bomb, but man, when she broke down, it was an older lady, she was like, I'm not about to do it, but you know, the point is, the original Twerk, dog catcher, and then they had Donovan, I'm like, oh, dog catcher.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Auntie for putting me up to what the dog catcher is, bro.
Yeah, Uncle George, he was wild with them lyrics, man. You know what I'm saying?
Dog
Parliament
catcher,
stuff.
bro.
He was tweaking when it come to certain stuff. I mean, he was.
That was the original Twerk, the dog catcher.
Yeah. He always had dual meanings to stuff that he wrote lyrics to. You know what I'm saying? You had to read between the lines. Oh, that's what he mean. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still laughing at that part.
Oh yeah, Atomic
But okay.
Dog, all of that. He was talking about the dog stars, Sirius. You know, he was into
Yeah.
Egyptology a lot too.
Oh yeah, I peeped that.
He studied a lot of things, and he incorporated that stuff in his music. You know, along with some of the drug uses he was doing. You know what I'm saying? It caused him to say certain things. You know.
Trust me, I definitely peeped. Like
Yeah.
I said, I studied a lot of that music. You know,
Yeah.
from his, him. Like I kind of even drift off to Isaac Hayes. Type all that type of
Sly
stuff.
Family
Yeah.
Stone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just all that type of music, bro. Like I love kind of like DJing for old school parties. I'm kind of starting to like those more. It's a little bit easier, but I just like that old school music. So
Yeah. It's the source of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, all them samples come from
Yep.
man. What? Oh my goodness, man. Life, just time is all. It's so wild. So it's coming full circle. Like so when I was growing up, what's that song Puffy when that first came out? Broken glass everywhere. If it ain't about money, yeah.
Don't
know why I
push
can't
me.
think-
The
to
message. It's called The
Right.
Message.
I remember when it first came out, or when we first heard it, in the car, on the radio and whatnot. She dissed it like a mug. She was like, man, this ain't nothing but, all our stuff, back then. And we didn't care, me and my brother, because it was like, man, what are you talking about? This is hot right now. Like,
Yeah.
because we had no recollect of the, previous music.
Right.
I was born in 86. My brother was born in 81. So it was like, we had no real recollect,
So you was listening to Puffy?
Yeah, like,
version of it?
yeah,
You
basically.
thinking
Yeah.
that was the first one?
Yeah, we think that was the
Right.
first version. A lot of that stuff, like SWV's, the Use Your Heart, Not Your Eyes, just a lot of that music at that time. Like a lot of 90s music is sampling a lot of old school music. But what's crazy now is like, you know, it's coming full circle. So it's like, you know, like for example, was NLE Chopper sampled Back That Thing Up. And he even got Lil Wayne on it. And it's like, it's crazy because like, you know, it's full circle. It's happening now. Like, so now the younger generation, you know, sampling is like.
We talking Juvie.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that ain't that old. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
in our mind, we like that just happened. You know
right. And so, you know, at that point, that's why I'm making this, you know, point or reference, you know, to my mother, because it's like, you know, she probably felt the same way because it's like, you know, 70s to the 90s. And I was only like, you know, 20 years. Like, you know, some of that was even kind of early 80s. But she was like, man, like matter of fact, the original. Broken Glass, well, 79, early 80, 81.
Yes, the message.
Yeah, the message, exactly. So,
you
know, around then, so it was like, you know, it's like, we just heard this yesterday, like the original, so I was like, you know, I'll sample it. Like, so yeah, and like, point is how she was probably feeling that nostalgia and had that feeling, like, you know, I'm kind of having that now, because it's like, man, like, dang, because they sampling everything. Like, there's another song on the radio right now, they sample Genuine's, My Pony type now. Like, I don't know the name or the lyrics to the song, but it's like, just point is the amount of samples they sample. They going crazy with it right now. So, but you know,
it's all recycling. You know what I'm saying?
Like a mug. Like
some people look at it like stealing and all of that. But
no originality. That's what I'm thinking.
But you know, I can't. You know,
I can't knock it because
I can't knock it because I come from the hip hop era of sampling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, shout out to Jay Dilla, man. Jay Dilla is like the king of sampling. You know what I'm saying? He would do some intricate things with them records, man, that people can't duplicate to this day. Yeah. So it's an art form.
Got his own day, Dilla Day.
Yeah, it's an art form to it. So, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Sampling, like me and my dad, we used to go toe-to-toe about it because, you know, my dad's a real musician.
Right.
So he'd be like, well, Los, you know, y'all generation, y'all like pirates. Y'all ain't doing nothing but taking what we did already. You know what I'm saying? Pirates. I said, yeah, but, you know, you can't do it the way we do it. You probably know how to sample, but you don't have the mentality to chop it up like we do. You know what I'm saying? It's an art to it. Yeah. And he had to learn that. Like, he'll tell me, like, yeah, you're right, Los. You know, I think I can do some of the stuff y'all do, but I can't do it the way you do it.
That's how I got into, you know, beat making, because it's like, you know, ever since a kid, like, you know, the music was always playing in my ear. Now I sound like DJ off Whoop That Trick. So I'm like, but yeah, the music was always in my head, and I could just, you know, hear it. So it's like, and I was like, man, like, you know, like, I'll be bebopping, you know, sometimes in my head or out loud. Like, you know, I used to just make beats. But I thought of and forgot of more beats than, you know, I possibly created, you know, like, just, you know, throughout life, you know, whatnot. But yeah, no, like, you know, the music, you know, always there, but you're absolutely right. You know, like, we view it a whole different type of way and how to use it a different type of way.
Just like the generations, y'all think a certain way that my generation doesn't think. You got to learn to appreciate all of that. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is biblical and spiritual, man. You know, it says that the truth shall come from the mouths of babes and things of that nature. So,
not chicks like babes, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the philosophy that I keep with me. I listen to the youth a lot, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got certain youth that you would consider to be ignorant or what have you, or they just don't want to adhere to nothing that preceded them, and they don't have no respect for those who paved the way for them or none of that. But there are such youth individuals, such as yourself, that can appreciate that which came before him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Those are the people I gravitate towards.
Definitely. So, okay, what was that? Just recently I bumped into you at what? The Aretha, formerly known as Shane Park. What was that, like, what, July 1st or something? Didn't you, like, perform that night? Because they had everybody, they had some legends there that night.
Yeah, they had Stretch Money.
Shout out Stretch Money, Big Herc, yeah, word. And Ballard, yeah, got a word. Shout out my dog Ballard. Good people, he a good brother.
Yeah, I had the Chucks versus Adidas show to do over in Hart Plaza. And then I ran over there to hang out with the Dog Pound. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out my dog Corrupt, you know, and I can't think of his lady's name right now, but they always show love, you know, shout out to them.
Yeah, Exhibit was on that show. And,
Exhibit, yep, word.
Obi Trice.
Dash, gotta shout out Dash.
Flavor Flav came through.
Yeah, Obi did come out, shout out Flavor Flav, he came out. Yeah, no, that was a good look, like, you know, that was actually a good concert, bro, you know. And it was always, you know, of course, good, you know, seeing you out there, so I was like, yeah, I'm like,
thank you.
I definitely, like, gotta get you on the show, bro. It was like I said, I knew you was legendary, and like I said, hey, look, so, and this is what I was telling him earlier, like, you know, so, I think it's dope, like, you know, how you was telling me, like, you know, all the DJs in your area, like y'all all familiar and cool with each other. You know, hang, kick it, give pointers, tips with no problem.
Yeah.
And you know, my generation, you know, is not as much camaraderie, you know, and whatnot, or camaraderie means togetherness, you know, cooperation. But yeah, not, you know, too much of that. You know, you got some groups, you know, that do that, but not too much. I don't know how much of the new generation, you know, how much, you know, they work together, but you know, I totally respect that and like that.
You're gonna have that regardless. Even in my generation, man, you know, some of the older people, they sometimes envy opportunities that I might get or something like that, and you know, they might not tell me. I know how to see. I can see what they do, but
yeah, energy is real.
I keep it humble, man. I ain't in competition with nobody.
Absolutely,
you know what
that's
I'm saying?
exactly how I feel
It's been like that since I got in it. I ain't never competed. I don't even battle. I don't battle nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about that for me. I'm an artistic person.
I feel
you see what I'm saying? I could draw really well back in the day before I learned how to make beats and DJ. Really? You know what I'm saying? That was my real thing. And then just hanging around my dad, I started listening to all these sounds and all this stuff in the studio. I'm like, and he would leave drum machines laying around the house. I'm like, Dad, can I play with your 808 drum machine? He's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I started making beats. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got into it. So it's just another outlet to be creative for me. And then, like I said, the scratching thing, when I seen Jam Master Jay from Run DMC do his thing scratching, I was like, man, what is that he doing? You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's record scratching. You know, I heard it on other rap records, but I liked it. It really sparked me when I seen him do it in Crush Groove, the movie Crush Groove. Yeah. And he was like, run.
That's fun you say that. So I think what got me hooked on DJing was like, I mean, I always kind of liked it, but you know, like when the official like, you know what, I'm about to be DJ. Was I don't know, I could juice.
I knew that's what you was about to say. I was waiting for you to say it. Yeah, that's everybody's defining inspirational moment with your generation. You know what I'm saying? See, I was already in it when Juice came out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, Juice. That's cool. But you know, we looked at it from a point of view like, oh man, he ain't really doing that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even the tables ain't even working right. He ain't even plugged up. You know what I'm saying? They ain't spinning.
Hey, you like me? Hey, I be peeping like, no, even nowadays with these super mega $1 million DJs, boy, they be pump faking so hard. Like some, don't get it twisted. There's some DJs out there that's really truly gifted, really truly gifted. But a good majority of them, I think, is more than that's not gifted. Than there is gifted that's out there just pressing buttons, but they pump faking, making it look like they doing something.
That's such a pet peeve of mine when I do videos. Like the song will already be created, and somebody will call me to do a video shoot for the song. Like, Los, we need you on the song. I mean, in the video because you're scratching on the song. So I'll be like, well, y'all gonna have power.
I knew you was gonna say. I knew it because they be having them in the video. Not to cut you off, I'm so sorry, but having them in the video, nothing plugged up, but yet you supposed to DJ.
I'm plugging everything up. Like I might get away with not putting no speaker up or whatever, but the turntables got to turn.
Yeah.
So if I'm on location, I say, well, ain't no power. I'm gonna drive my car. I'll have the Camaro or the truck or whatever, hook it, and I'm gonna hook an inverter box up and use my battery of the car like a generator. Plug that junk up and plug it to my turntables, and I got power. You know what I'm saying? And lights work and all of that, so it looks good on camera. Yeah. So, but a lot of people they be half stepping. I be like, man, he ain't even scratching right now.
Stepping. Right. Be just pump faking. I don't like it. You just like me. Like I'm a purist of it, of the art my dog myself. Yeah. So when I first got into it, let's see. I was pitching a fit about CDJ. I ain't gonna hold you up. I wanted to get the original turntable so bad, but I had to think about it, because I had an amplifier with the big speakers, so I had to walk around with like 4 speakers. Like, boy, I was getting my exercise on, boy. Like that got my core strength together. Right.
That's what's up.
But so it was like I finally gave in with the CDJs and I got in like right. It was like or maybe I just didn't know about it. But it was right when I got in, I didn't know about Serato yet. Okay. So it was like, right when CDJ started, but not right when Serato had came out just yet. So right when I got it, like I said, I didn't hear nothing about Serato because I got it. So I didn't necessarily carry crates, but I had a whole stack of CDs that I used to, walk around with, or just be carrying around CDs, and it's like, I remember, boy, I used to stay on it, but if a song came out that day or whatever, it's rap. I ain't got it. I'm sorry.
Right.
The best I can do now, is if you're really cool with DJing, a good DJ is a good engineer. So like, what I do is like, if nothing else, I can play it on the phone. Find some type of download site, because I don't think YouTube was around, like that back then. Like, let's see, when I really started DJing, it was like 2004, 2005, 2005, ever since 2005. So yeah, I don't think YouTube and all that was around, but point is download sites and whatever. But yeah, point is, download off the phone and play there, in aux. So you'll be noticeably slower than, the other songs. But point is, hey, you want to hear this song? You want to hear the song?
It's there, and the people who wanted to hear that song, they can still hear it.
But and me just being cold with it, so still scratch with it, like try to play it.
Yeah, to me that's hip hop, man, because that's all hip hop is. It's just innovation. It's like, well, I don't know how to play no instrument.
I kept the party rocking. I promise you. I'm still here to this day, baby.
Yeah, that's all.
Been around the world and all that.
Like, the people that were limited with instruments and things of that nature, that's how hip hop emerged. That's how it was born out of that. People couldn't play instruments, so what they do, they play records on the
turntable. Makes me feel much better by myself for any shortcomings I had, and for any other DJs or any artists.
Yep. We didn't have samplers back in the day in the beginning, so what they do, they buy two of the same record and then play a certain part where ain't no talking, the instrumental part of it, play it over here, then to make it longer, you play it again over here, and then you keep it going like that, like a loop. You know what I'm saying? And that's, people don't know the origins of breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? You call that portion of the record the break. Okay. And you find that part of the record where it's empty and no vocals are on it. That's called the break part. And you play that and you keep it going.
Just so they can dance.
And so people would start dancing to it, and that's where you got the term break dancers. You know what I'm saying? Because they were dancing over break.
History today, baby.
You know what I'm saying? And then the MC was born. Really, the DJ was the most important person in the party, because he was the one with the name. He was the one that everybody knew, and he was the one playing the records. But when he would go to search for another record in his crates, he would give the microphone to somebody to keep the crowd distracted while he was doing that. So he'd give it to somebody, and that's where you get to just throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care, all that old school stuff, because that's a distraction where you ain't paying attention to the DJ searching for his next record. Yeah, it get boring.
You've been fooled all those years.
So they give the, now it's a new thing in hip hop, the MCs, they forget about the DJ. Like, I perform with artists all the time, and they be like, hey DJ, play my song. I'm like, hey bro, I got a name. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know my name, you tell me play your music.
Excuse me? I cut it. Or I do you even worse, I mess it up while you like, boy, don't play with me.
Yeah.
You bump. Or bump the desk.
They be like, DJ, they just clump you in with everybody, like no identity or whatever. I got a pet peeve with that. You know what I'm saying? If you do that to me, I'll be like, all right, I'm not gonna enhance your music no more. I'm not gonna cut on it. You know what I'm saying? But if you somebody that really
you want Los to cut it.
I'm gonna enhance it. I'm gonna make it live. I'm gonna drop the effects and all of that. But if you have stepping with acknowledgement, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna treat you just like, I'm gonna give you the same energy you gave me. You know what I'm saying? You don't respect me right here. I done brought all this equipment out, set it up so that you could perform. You know what I'm saying? And you like, hey man, play my music, DJ whatever your name is.
Hell no. Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, like I said, speaking of, like I said, DJ Los is somebody you definitely want cutting on your records, because
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, doubling back. You know what I'm saying? Like, how our generation, I help, I made mention of that, because like, for the most part with this whole my DJ journey, like, like I show myself, for them, everything. That's right now, I'm certain of it, but just in case, no, I'm certain, no, ain't nobody help. But I want to say just in case if there's somebody, but ain't nobody ever show no pointers or nothing, but, I'm trying to reserve something just in case, because, people be quick to say never, but, kind of don't, like, people can't remember last week, but.
Yeah. Attention span.
Yeah, but I'm almost certain, like, nobody helped me with that. So, when I came across you, like I said, off top, day one, he was quick to help me. He showed me something on my, clearly not only showed me something on my turntables, showed the crowd something, because like I said, Raz.
For sure. Yo. I was DJing for Miss Corona, but Raz was in the audience like, hey, man.
But what I'm saying is, like, he showed me a trick or two, with that and system. His door's always been open, and like I said, because, how our generation is, I took pride, the fact that I didn't have to, learn from the mic, so. I kind of just, you know, don't even, you know, really, but, you know, there's a couple of DJs out here, you know, I rock with cool with, you know, we plug each other for work or whatnot, but, you know, for the most part, you know, I don't really, you know, rock with others. There's no disrespect, it's just, you know, just be in my own lane, and, you know, I made it happen, but, you know, like I said, you know, I take that, you know, real serious about, you know, going to anybody for any type of mentorship, you know, type thing, because, like, I ain't never had no mentors, you know, type of thing, so.
Right. Well,
when you came along, I'm like, no, that's what I'm saying, when you came along and actually showed me, I'm like, damn, not only you was, you know, like I said, open and cool about it, I was like, you know, shit, I see that you truly get this, so I was like, oh, no, I need them skills, like, so,
you know what I'm saying?
like, you know, I'm nice, but, like, no, that's how I gotta enhance, because, like, you know, no, I ain't trying to ever be, you know, top DJ of the year, beating in competition, all that, but it's just, you know, something just to add to my repertoire, just to enhance it a little even more, because, like I said, I definitely never had.
You might be the best at what you do in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't set out to be no best. I just like what I do, man. And I'm not claiming to be the best. So you know, I don't want nobody to misconstrue that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, some people have referred to me, man, you the best, you the best. And I always tell them, I don't believe that way. You know what I'm saying? I just believe, I know that I'm good because people give me compliments all the time. I'll be like, we all one,
people
man.
judge who, you know, the best is. You know, I can't just.
Yeah, we all one, man. We all one, because there's people that I look up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I get around people like Jazzy Jeff and DJ Scratch and all of them guys way better than
Jeff
me
is
to me.
cold.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Jeff, holla at me, bro. I tried to reach out to him on Gram, of course, when I noticed. But yeah, no, like a perfect example of what you're talking about, like DJ Drama. I remember seeing him in an interview. He said, like, you know, like, I was never really cold at, you know, scratching and all that type of stuff.
But he good at what
he's cold at what he does. Same with DJ Khaled. And so, you know, I guess that brings me to, you know, I guess my last question, because, you know, I can't keep it forever, but like I said, definitely gotta bring you on for part 2. But what do you believe, like, you know, what's next for you? Because, like I said, you done travel around the world, you done, you know, definitely done produce, like, Death Row affiliations, like, you know, what is, you know, next for you?
Just continuing, man. Like, I go with the flow. Like, I don't really know what's next for me other than the projects that I'm working on, and I don't know where they're gonna take me, but I'm just gonna keep on creating while I'm here on this plane. You see what I'm saying? So, like, people put a lot of philosophy to it, and, you know, I know you're supposed to set goals for yourself, but my goal is to just be hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hip hop. I live it, I dress it, you know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. It's part of my personality. And whatever opportunities come, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'll be confident in it, and I'll be like, yeah, this is supposed to happen this way, because I don't have no enemies in this thing.
Yeah, by no means.
You know, I mean, you may have some people who might envy you a little bit, but they're still not my enemies. You see what I'm saying? Because I still interact with some of those people that's something they have to work on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna treat you with kindness.
That's your personal problem.
You know what I'm saying? I'll treat you with kindness, so you're gonna feel stupid anyway being a hater.
Yeah,
so,
that's your personal problem.
I'll watch you though. If I know that you got some ill intentions, I'll be like, let me pay attention to him a little bit, because he don't like the position I'm in, or he feel like it ain't fair that I got this opportunity and he didn't, you know.
No, I feel you on that.
But you can't control none of that. But the more positive energy that you have, the more bigger opportunities gonna come to you. You know what I'm saying? I got so much stuff on the plate, man. Yacht parties, it'd be so much stuff that I'm turning down because I don't have the time, or it'd be something that I don't really want to do at heart.
And boy, I so understand about, you know, I'm not gonna you boy, man, that's just something I'll be saying, but I so understand, like, you know, about time, because, like, you know, when you said that, the old me would have been quick to jump like, oh, let me take your out party, but at this point, I'm too doggone busy, like, you know, like, you know, I got, you know, too much going, like, I don't know if I, like, you know, if I was to jump and try to commit to that, and now you plug me with something, and I'm booked for that day, like, damn, my bad, you know, now I look like a, you know, asshole, so it's like, yeah, but I certainly understand about time, like, you know, definitely, like, and that's, you know, what's dope about it, like, you know, like, there's no reason or need for anybody to be a hater out here, because, like I said, you done more than most of, you know, what people will probably say their favorite DJ or the most popular DJs in the city right now. You know, and heck, some of these most popular DJs haven't even probably been out the city, let alone tours, let alone got a state, certainly not out the country. And it's like, you know.
And that's what they have to struggle with sometimes. Like, even when they do hate, sometimes they have to be like, you know what, I can't hate. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I've helped some of them. You know what I'm saying? So they got that, man, I want to hate on him, but he a good friend. You know what I'm saying? This guy's incredible, man. He always come to my aid, or he helped me. So you know, that's what I strive to do. I
get that vibe and energy from you. I guess I
try to be. You know, you may hear me vent sometimes when somebody don't do what I feel like they should or whatever. But at the end of the day, I still love that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotta always have.
And I'll be wanting them to just stop and pay attention to how they are behaving towards me. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, no, I hate when people don't notice, like, you know, what they did to cause you to react that way. Like, I'm not acting this way. This is a reaction.
Right. Cause and effect.
Exactly. Yeah, I hate that. But no, I mentioned that, you know, as far as, you know, like what's next thing, because, like, you know, I've been contemplating that, like, a lot lately myself. And it's like, once again, you know, I done a whole lot more, been around the world and, like, on tours, you know, all that type of stuff, you know, more than, you know, some of the most, you know, popular DJs and all that type of stuff. And so, like, for me, you know, really, like, of course, you know, and shout out to everybody. I want to, right now, thank you for everybody that watches my show, because it's been hella love, and it's like, it actually means a whole lot to me, because it's like, you know, I'm getting, you know, random people out of the blue like, man, your show's sweet, bro, like, keep doing your thing. So for everybody that has watched and passed it on, thank you so very much, and please continue to share. Like, you know, I only plan to continue to grow it. You know, like I said, this one-man army. Trust me, the ideas I got for this, you know, I'll take it so much further. But, you know, just wanted to say thank y'all real quick. But, yeah, like, the only thing next, you know, for me is, like, you know, of course, you know, keep, you know, the show banging. But really is like, you know, because like I said, I've been on world tour. So it's like, if it's not on some DJ drama or DJ Khaled type, you know, shit, it's like, the only thing I can think of is like, the mega rave DJs, like the Bad Bunnies and all that type of shit. Like, that's the only next level for me, because, like, you know, I've done, you know, radio for a quick, brief second. You know, it's like, after a while, with that, like, radio's a dope plug, but the type of person I am, I like to move around. So it's like, you know, after a while, you know, I realize it's a job, and I don't like to be held down too much. Like, you know, I've been 10 years free from a job.
Right.
Like, you know, April 17, 2013, and I'm never going back.
Right.
So, but yeah, like, you know, that's the only thing, like, you know, see what's next. So, you know, that's why, you know, I had to ask you, because, like you said, you've been in the game for so long. Clearly, you have such rich history, and it's like, you know, like I said, taking pointers from you, like I said, it's not too many people I even wouldn't even seek to that. But yeah, you definitely one that's wise in the game and been in the game. So
thank you.
But yeah, bro, I so appreciate you coming through today.
Appreciate you.
My guy, DJ Los. If you don't know about him, you need to know about him as you hear about all this rich history. By the way, social media plugs and all that, handles and all that type of stuff.
Okay. Instagram, I'm known as DJ Los the Original. Twitter, I'm DJ Los 313. Facebook, Carlos DJ Los Small on there. Yep.
That's what it is. Man.
Also, DJ Los the Original. I got 2 pages on Facebook. Yep.
Okay. And oh yeah, shout out to Pops, Carlos Butch.
Carl Butch Small. My dad is Carl, and I'm Carlos.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Okay, now I get it. Carl, okay, that's what's up. Small, right? Last name?
Yep.
Okay, Carl Butch Small. Special shout out to you. You know, holding Detroit down throughout the Death Row era is because of you. They recognize us over here heavy. You're one of the pioneers. Definitely got to get that shout out for that. That's definitely what's up. And here you have another episode of Seat at the Throne. Your man's DJ King, DJ Lawson. But I appreciate you again,
Shalom,
my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.